did this maneuver we call the knife edge pass. And what's that? Here's the goal. Thumper and I come at each other, 1,000 miles per hour closer, cross within the wingspan. Remember, from 1 second off, we're going to miss by 2 football fields. Okay? So how do we do that? Right? Well, I think the key to execution, probably one of the biggest keys, is trust. See, I think it's trust. You want to increase execution? I suggest this. Increase trust first, and execution will follow. Now, that's a belief. And so I started thinking about, well, how do I do that? Well, here's how we did it on a team. So this maneuver, it's just one of 30 maneuvers. We're going to do that in 37 minutes. So I'm in the middle of my air show. Just like you, I'm coordinating. I've got teammates all around me. I got Thumper 3 miles crowd right. I'm 3 miles crowd left. We're 6 miles apart. We're virtual. I got 4 other teammates 5 miles out there. I'm listening. We're coordinating. When I hear a certain word by my boss, boom, I know I got 50 seconds. 50 seconds to get my 2 jets over center point because I need to deconflict. By the way, it's going to take me 45. So I come up on the radio, and I ask Thumper one simple question. I say, Thumper, are you ready to take a mark? So what I'm asking when I make that statement is, are you in position and are you committed? So we had a contract, you could say no. Remember, I can't see Thumper. Now, 99 times out of 100, he was where he needed to be. But that one time he's off, I needed to know. So we had a contract, you could say no. If he said no, he had 5 seconds to get his butt ready because I'm going to ask him again. He was always ready that second time. Next contract was this, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Actually, I'd say standby marker, we hit our stopwatch. 20 seconds, be on your 3-mile checkpoint. On altitude, on airspeed, on time. Guess what? Player-coach agreement. I'll do the same thing. So if he was on altitude, on airspeed, on time at 20 seconds, guess what he told me? Nothing. You want to decrease your voicemails and emails? Put this into place. If you're where you're supposed to be, I don't need to hear from you. But if you're off, I need to know quickly, and you need to tell me why so we can adjust. So we had a contract. You don't hide things. I'll never forget, sometimes Thumper would come up on the radio, he said, I'm working a little late. That meant he was half second off. If he came up on the radio and said he was late, it was 1 second. So who corrects? I do, the leader. Leadership can correct quicker. So if he was late, I would slow down. If he was early, I'd speed up. We're going to get to where we need to go. Next contract was this. Don't bust your 1-mile checkpoint unless you have the other airplane in sight. Why do pilots have good eyes? Anybody know what an F-18 looks like, nose on, 2 miles out? It's a dot. This dot's getting bigger at the rate of a mile every 4.5 seconds. Sometimes I look out there and his nose is canting out and go, dude, we got a problem. It's going to be an impact point. It's not going to be pretty. Then I needed to trust my teammate to do what he or she said they were going to do. They needed to trust me. See, my contract to Thumper was a verbal contract, not a written contract, a verbal contract. I said, Thumper, I'll be on the flight line. Won't be 5 foot left or 5 foot right. I'll be right on the flight line. Flight line, by the way, is the inboard edge of the left painted stripe on the runway. I'll make the timing corrections. I'll give you the command to execute a full stick deflection roll. You, my teammate, have one job. Miss me. Biggest game of chicken you ever played. Wasn't a game and it wasn't chicken because we had discipline, focus, and contracts. Sometimes I'd look out there and go, man, I hope he corrects. He'd go by so close, you saw my head get thumped from the airflow going over the canopy. Meanwhile, I got to recage my brain. Why? 29 other maneuvers to do in the next 30 minutes. But we did that through simple contracts. When I call contract, I mean a verbal and nonverbal agreement. So here's the question. What contracts do you have right now with the people in this room? What contracts do you have with your customers? What contracts do you have with your family members? And as I'm suggesting here, it's a handshake. It's looking someone in the eye and saying, you can count on me, I'm going to count on you. It's that powerful.